It's Friday night. Benjamin and Kitty are here. Sports Panorama. Been a good week for sports generally. We have a Friday night football game as well, so we'll be giving you updates on that game. So this week, top of the agenda, Ghana's Black Queens up against Zambia as they hope to make it to the Olympic Games for the first time since 2004. Well, that whole task has become tenfold more difficult because the Black Queens have lost the home game to the Zambians by 1-0. So that's the first one. Second bit of news didn't sit well with a lot of people, but it has happened anyway. Joseph Painso has gone to the biggest team in the MLS, LA Galaxy. A lot of people are asking on my timeline, what is he going to do in America at this age? We'll try and see if we can make some sense of that as well. We'll be talking some UEFA Champions League. We'll talk about the Save Ghana football demonstration. They were supposed to hold a Kumasi arm of the demonstration, but that has been put on freeze as things stand now due to some workings in the background. We'll get some perspective on that as well. And then we'll get into previewing this weekend's Premier League action. My people are down here with me. Nathan Kwao, Coach Christopher Nimley, Yara J. Minta, and Gabi Milito will be joining us in a bit. You out there listening from wherever you are can join us via text, WhatsApp, and Telegram 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. Let me let Coach set the ball rolling on all things sports. Let's get right into it. Coach.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting week.
Yeah,
Champions League, Kumasi Demo, Black Queens, unpaid bonuses, Black Queens qualifier, Premier League action. A lot to chew on. Help us to digest all the issues.
Wakogbele yache manche mia manche. Okay, ogbele yache o manche yele aba. Jo was about. Mene soa ni masoa na masoa. No bale woba. Ghana mamu fefe klalo. Ambabo wotwe. Ya kamele yakeshin. Abu fambi etwe. Hanukwale bi eyo. Hanukwale bi ayo ye. Ya ke budenche. Ojomo jinani nye program ne. Nibi pi kawa hiye no ba afen wogbe ami. Ye himene. Keje Black Queens. Keje Kumasi Demo. Keje demo baba no demo ba no na ma kekpe o me baba pe la ba pe ken ye bo den to gba mi pe la ba pe ken ni ka pe o wo ba fen wo gbe ami ya ko le akeshi bojimo no nye wo hie yo was about agbeni asna bi na mi odugbai na no asna bi o. That's not be a first leg I try. It's your second leg. I'm afraid to be Emirate. Me and boss will mean solid now. Me here. I can't me here. Ni be buying 50. Asna, me amo no yahi. I know sabute. Kamo will be na me me na me yahi. Ani me talk back man. I know sabute. But then change me jibo. Ya no ne asna fiole. You know, musun sha. Nya me anya here. Ni draw my fame, you know. Ghana fake lalo. One more fake lalo. Ghana Bible what we ye yesu bame. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Let's start off from the Black Queens. No, let's start off from the demonstration. I have somebody coming through from the stadium on the Black Queens so we can get some first-hand info so we can put that on freeze for now. Coach Christopher Nimley is here. He's one of the conveners of the Save Ghana Football demonstration. Now, we know that there was supposed to be a demonstration in Kumasi, which is not coming on as planned. What's up with that? First of all, what's happening? Is that a negative to the momentum that was being built? Because we saw that the Accra demonstration was massive. We were thinking that Kumasi being what it is, or the place that it is, we're going to get perhaps an even more resounding crowd and impact. What changed, and why are we at this juncture?
Okay, on behalf of my colleagues, that is those of us
The convenience of the demonstration.
Exactly. Save Ghana Football. The Kumasi demonstration is not cancelled. Let that be made very clear to everybody. It's been put on hold. And I can emphatically say that that demonstration is on hold because of the Parliament of Ghana. We sent our petition to the Parliament of this country. We gave the ministry a copy. We gave the FA their copy. And of course, most importantly, we've given the Jubilee House a copy. Somewhere around Monday, Tuesday, where we were virtually planning to go to Kumasi. And then we had some calls from some very important personnel. People we believe will be at the forefront to make sure whatever we have put in that petition will be clearly looked into in detail. When I say people, I'm talking about the Parliament of Ghana. I'm talking about the Jubilee House of Ghana. And we were asked, are we the same people going to do the demonstration in Kumasi? We said yes. And then the common analogy came out that when you go, it's the same petition you are going to present. In fact, in Kumasi, Menshia was going to receive a copy of it. Menshia has willingly said that they will receive a copy of the petition. And then we're also going to petition the regional minister. And look, I understand the disappointment from the people in Kumasi, but we are telling them that it is on hold. We trust the Parliament of Ghana to take up the matter. Parliament was very simple and straightforward. That we've given them a petition, they've looked into it. Even in our presence, the speaker did direct that a committee be set up to begin to look into the matter. So we should give Parliament some time to look into the matter. I trust the Parliament of Ghana. I trust the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Agbangbagin, the majority caucus, the minority caucus. We, the petitioners, we trust them. And the assurance they've given to us is the reason why we had to put the demonstration on hold. So we want to give them time. In fact, we were told that give us some time to act. If we don't act to your satisfaction, then you then have every right
To go ahead
with whatever is. Because look, we will not lie low until we save Ghana football. In Ketia, all of us seated here, we are in support of saving Ghana football. No two ways about that. As for those who think that our football is in the best of state, we leave them. I've given them one message. If they've got balls, they should step out on the street of Ghana and see how the people of Ghana will receive them. It's as simple as that. Two, in addition to The Parliament of Ghana, they're the main fundamental reason why we had to put the Kumasi demonstration on hold. The Ghana Football Association has also tried to reach out. In fact, if we had gone according to what they wanted us to do, we should have met them on Wednesday. But we told them that they wanted us to meet them at the FA on Wednesday. But we told them that no, Wednesday will not be convenient because some of our leaders are out there in Kumasi and we needed to get them involved. Two, we will not, I repeat, we will not meet them at the premises of the Ghana Football Association. That is emphatic. And that was made very clear to the General Secretary, whoever he communicated with on behalf of...
Let me just ask, so what exactly is the FA trying to meet the demonstrators?
They have a copy of the petition.
Exactly.
They have extended a hand that come and let's dialogue. We'll go and sit there. I will definitely be there. Obama
but not at the GFA's premises.
No, that will not happen. That they've been made, and let me state emphatically, they've accepted that they will not meet us, or that meeting will not be at the FA there. In fact, they have accepted our venue of the meeting because, look, and I have always said, and now I'm beginning to champion, I'm telling my people, whichever meeting we have with them, the media will be in the known. I am one of those people of the petition who believe that even in that meeting, some solid media house, some of them will be there like Citi FM. Come and sit there, listen. Because we have some of their people peddling falsehood that they've given some of us $3,500. No more English kami. English kami. Like $3,500. No need to school your face science. In fact, pure mass to the highest level. In la kuntami. No, no more. Yankee English coming. Dollars and limit the bar 3,000. That is, you see, those of us championing this. One, we are not selfish people. Two, we are not greedy people. Three, we are not doing this for any personal benefit. Me ameti Nana Yakesi, Obama, Songo, Yasantua, Veronica Kome, Atapoku, Ohini Brenya, and we are not selfish people. It is the game we want to fix, though. And to the people in charge of our game, once this game is fixed, they will benefit even more than all of us sitting here. The benefit they will reap is beyond measure. So I'm using Sports Panorama to tell the people of this country that we will not disappoint them, not one bit. They have to know that once we meet them and we sit there, nothing will be private. That is why I'm pushing that in that meeting, when we meet, the media should come and sit there.
You mean they must listen to everything?
Everybody will come and sit there.
You mean no in-camera meetings?
Because I know the people I'm dealing with. Because already, if you listen to some people very close to them, they think we've been bribed. Goodness me. Let me just say it out there. My good brother, my senior, the General Secretary of the FA, he knows he cannot even attempt to do that. And I don't even expect that he will do that. Because when we meet, we talk as blowbees. Ona Benijo, Ingalete Accra Academy. Keneta, Mene Asamoah Eche Wohi Accra Academy. Dr. Mahmoudi Baumia, Eka Asamoah Vita Manifesto Team, baby, what ready? Chawo ni watashin work brand bi ami. You mean baby? Baby, oh Charlie. I feel ready. Chawo ni watashin work brand bi mi echombo. No can be aya na anya akachuni. You understand? So the Prosperado I know will not even go along that tangent. And listening to him, look, if they thought we didn't mean well, now the sort of communicate they are putting out there, the engagement between the FA and the people, they now see that truly, we mean well for the sports. No more. Moko akashegbe. it is looking very clear that they are saying somewhere next week. We just hope that whichever day they come out with will be very convenient, because our people in Kumasi, Atapoku, and some few other people will have to come down, because no more nakamitele ibafi clean meeting ni ambana keshi jenu obatachi ni wo okeke. She will use them. Together with them, we will team up together with them, together with the Parliament of Ghana, together with the Jubilee House, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to shape and fix our football. So the demonstration is on hold for a very good cause, a very good reason. You see, and in Ghana, the way we do our things, all of us who submitted or behind this, age-wise, respectfully, we are not at the level of the Speaker of Parliament. When he says, you are my sons and you brought me a petition, you need to give your father the time to look through the petition and act. If after some time you are not satisfied with what daddy is doing, you go back to daddy. Daddy, I brought this thing to you, but it seems the manner in which it's been accelerated is not pleasing to me. Could you please? So, you see, we are jaw-jawing. And at the end of the day, Ghana football will be the winner. Ingetia, the Kumasi demonstration, if you hear that it is on hold, I am telling you emphatically here that this is the reason why it is on hold. We trust the Parliament of Ghana, the minority, the majority caucus, the assurance they've given to us. That committee very soon, you see, Speaker committee very soon, and it will spark into action. And I'm hearing that we'll be meeting some other people very soon. Onumiji, me wuji, okukudam, bi wakamake, ofen obaka me benini bi yano ha. Game la wasa game. But in doing so, some of at the point in our petition, those are immediate. Those people looking for the Black Stars coach. We are craving Parliament or the government of Ghana or the ministry. Dissolve, sack those people. Dissolve that thing. Because we are not there yet, we are not there yet. Going to look for a new coach. Look at the names we are hearing they are putting out there.
You have a World Cup qualifier
in June. In June.
By that time, some of the issues would have been sorted.
Yes.
Okay.
By that time, at least, if not at all, a proper report on why we got disgrace should be sorted out, and one or two things should have been looked at.
Fair.
You are using your people to Otuado. Don't even dare. Otuado. Trainer scout.
They are testing the water.
Look, one come you should stop that thing.
But Otuado doesn't even meet the criteria.
Any of the criteria
that they themselves set.
What is this? You should stop that. Quick.
15 years. Yeah. So
Mama said trainer scout for 15 years. A coach for 15 years. Trainer scout, Gile. What we don't want is, don't be in a haste, don't be in a rush to do things, because this is Charlie, do you understand the opportunity to fix our game this time around? Look, if we don't get it right this time, we are finished. Because this demonstration is a historical one. It has never happened before. If the Parliament of Ghana, the Jubilee House of Ghana, the ministry, and the Ghana Football Association themselves, if they don't use this opportunity that the people of this country, through the petitioners, have given to them to fix our football, then we should forget it. We should forget it. Then some of us now will not join hands with them and destroy the game once and for all. That we don't want to get there.
Do that. You want to do it. If they do it, you join hands with them.
Yes, but we will join them in destroying the game. Then one
Don't do that.
Wakotoshi, Wakwanshi, Wakashi, Wampamify. Let's save Ghana football. Black Queens.
That's where I'm going next. You out there listening to us can join us via text, WhatsApp, and Telegram 0549 986 996. Yeah, Charlie. I thought I was the only one who had noticed, but coach has acknowledged the puka is pukaing today.
Yeah, the puka is chill.
Aye, Charlie.
The puka is chill.
Bent my throat safe.
The puka is really chill.
There must be more supplies. Now the weather is beginning to change, so we need a backup so that we'll be able to position ourselves well. And with puka, what is the Miniji Sablan?
Non-alcoholic for proper African recharge.
Fantastic.
For a proper African recharge.
I need to show acknowledgement to the puka when I get home.
Thank you. Don't say no more.
That's it.
Say no more. Thank you, my brother. Nathan, let me come to you. Let's talk about the Queens. Let me start off with you. It's been a very interesting week as far as the Queens are concerned. Before we get to the match itself, let's talk about the issues they've had. So they've had issues of outstanding bonuses from the qualifiers to the Women's AFCON. Those bonuses were not paid up until yesterday, I believe, around 1 p.m. When those bonuses were eventually settled. I hold the theory that all the shenanigans with the bonuses took a lot out of the Queens. Granted that they were going to play a complicated game, but we know how money distractions have cost us in this country on various levels with the national team. I think this is another one of it. I won't put it all on the money, but thoughts on the Queen's bonuses, Rao threatening to boycott the game and then eventually losing this game at the Accra Sports Stadium.
I was very surprised that the people in charge allowed that situation to degenerate to this point. Because we had always known that the Black Queens were going to play Zambia. We had always known that the team was owed bonuses. And it's fascinating that after such a horror show at the AFCON, you see, when you are in a bad situation, you try and work quickly to redeem some credibility. So I was very surprised that the sports ministry did not act quick enough to clear this matter of bonuses. I found it shocking that they didn't do it quickly. That it had to take public uproar and all of that for them to act. After such a horrible AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire, you are still waiting for the public to G you up so you work. I'm quite surprised. I was stunned to hear that the Queens were still owed bonuses from previous rounds of qualifiers. And they had even qualified to the AFCON anyway. So why? Why is it that the people who do things in this country, the people running the country, they always want us to shout, scream, talk, and do all kinds of things before they get down to business? In any case, you've been offered the perfect opportunity to win back some goodwill, to gain something on your credibility. The Black Stars performed horribly in Cote d'Ivoire. As soon as the storm was brewing, quickly paid the Black Queens. Do something. But no. As to whether or not it had an effect on the game, I'm sure we'll get more information from Gabby when he shows up. But what I will say is this. In the last game the Black Queens played, if you remember, I made a point and I said that game was a window into the new level the team was getting to and the problems they were likely to face.
That was the away game.
That was the away game.
One they play
Against Namibia.
Yeah, exactly.
And I said that Nora Hutla, when you watch her body language, she had to dig deep to find something to get the team over the line. So I'm not too surprised. This is a young team. This is a team that's being put together. And it is good that they go through these tests. I don't know what will happen in Dollar when they play that return leg. Should they win? Wonderful. If not, we should not do the things we do in this country when a team falls short at the head. We discard them, mention bad names, and then no. This team has at least made it to the AFCON. So these tests are reminders of the level. They say they want to punch above their weight or they want to mix it up with the big girls. This is what you will face. So I hope that they learn the lesson and put up a better performance when they go to Ndola to give themselves a chance. It's a 90-minute game. They are down by a goal. If they score early, the game is tight, and then you pick it up from there. But whatever it is, Nora Hutla and the Queens need to appreciate how far they've come as a team. And they need to understand that these are tests they will face. Because the women's game has changed. Whilst we were sleeping and dozing, others got up, smelled the coffee, and started working. Now, the women's game is not only Ghana and Nigeria, and to an extent South Africa. It is now Nigeria, South Africa, Senegal, Morocco, and Zambia. And others are catching up pretty quickly. So we need to tell ourselves that this is the level. This is what happens when you mix it up with the bigger teams. They will come to your place and they will give you a problem. So I just hope that Nora Hutla and the ladies will learn the lessons from this and move on. And I'm grateful that they've qualified for the AFCON, because these are, Ben, no training game, no pre-tournament game is bigger than this. You have experienced the emotions of playing under pressure when you have to deliver. And I hope that they will appreciate these games, because these are the things they'll face in the AFCON. They've already qualified. They will play some of those games. But the lessons from the Olympic qualifiers, should they succeed or fall short, the lessons from playing through the qualifiers to the AFCON, those are the things they need to pick up and have with them as they get ready for the AFCON. Now to the GFA and the sports ministry. To the GFA, I will give them some credit. To be fair, I think they've done some good work in women's football, so we will give them credit. But there's a lot more to be done. There's an AFCON that is coming up. I expect them to line up proper friendlies for these ladies. Send them to proper training camps. Give them time. Give them what they need. Give them all the support the FA can and should give a national team when it's going for a major competition. Because the women's AFCON is at the same level as the men's AFCON. So we don't want any first round exits. We want the team to go and do very, very... Because when I look at this Black Queens team, they don't look like a team that should exit a competition at the first round. No way. They may not be as great as the Nigerians, but they are no slouches, especially under Nora Hutla. So the FA should do what it can do. The sports ministry, we don't want to hear a repeat of the team has been is old bonus, 3 rounds. And how much is the bonus? $7,500 per player. Why are we doing this? Why are we dragging our feet?
And they kept reducing it.
Look at that.
They kept reducing it. 6,000 to 3,000, 3,000.
Why are we doing it? Meanwhile, the Black Stars in Cote d'Ivoire, their cash was hot and ready to be wired.
They hadn't even kicked the ball.
They hadn't even kicked. Meanwhile,
we're itching to pay them.
So
Meanwhile,
element within the FA. You see, some element within the FA who show no respect for women wouldn't see the need to come and talk about that. When they see a 75-year-old woman demonstrate to save her game, then they come and describe them in a certain unpalatable manner. He didn't see the need to tell his boss that they should accelerate payment of the Black Stars, of the Black Queens. No,
But I think that's more to do with the ministry, no?
yes, no, but the Black Stars own is not more to do with the
so the Black Stars one, that one.
That one there
But
is
Black
because
Queens
there's chopment. There's chopment at the Black Stars. I hear the management members of the Black Queens, they don't get paid. So they will not go and push for anything.
They'll tell you that the Black Queens don't make money.
Can you
and that
imagine
they are not a flagship product. And that I heard all kinds of funny things this week regarding the Black Queens.
You see, you know, when the Holy Bible says that, out of the abundance of the heart,
Go biblical for me, please.
speaks. Do you know what it means? It means that your mouth only transmits the things that sit deep in your spirit.
It's as simple as that.
Always.
The mouth, it only says the things that are deep within your spirit.
Yep.
And the things that come from within are deep. The things that come from it. That's why if you read
A statement has been released
that's
saying
why if
that
you read the New
out of
Testament, the Bible,
context and
Jesus
things.
says, can a man, so it talks about, it says what you take in doesn't defile you.
Exactly.
It's what comes out of you. So if you got an interview and you say all these things, and now when the stories are written, you come back to say you didn't say that. What did you mean by you did not say?
The phrase I've been taken or I've been quoted out of context. It is tired.
Everybody,
The phrase is
who
tight.
says something and realizes that, hey, I erred, you come back and say,
I was quoted out of
in
context.
which context? How did we quote you out of
come
context?
and explain the context.
In which context were you speaking? To say that the female senior team
It's not.
is not at the same level, we should not view it, we should not think it is as valuable as the Black Stars. I'm absolutely
You should be sacked immediately.
scandalized.
That's why we want all those people away from our national teams. No? You see, one of the reasons, that is why management, nothing. No management, anything. They should live there because if you look, they've the one who supervised the complete disgrace of this country at the under 17 level is still with the people.
Yeah, he's good.
And
now.
the FA could see the wisdom in sending him to come and take a petition.
Yep. He goes around granting interviews
And speaking loosely, very loose.
Let me get a bit.
In conclusion, I think that the Black Queens, like I said, they've done very well to get to this point. It is a team in evolution. It is a team in training. Success or failure in dollar, it does not mean this team is bad. It only means that there's still work to be done. And forever and ever, there will be work to be done. So I hope they'll give Nora Hutla and her ladies all the support as they get ready for the second leg. I'm sure we'll hear from Gabi. He will tell us what exactly went on. But the Black Queens shouldn't give up. They need to keep pushing. Like I said, even if it doesn't work out, there's an AFCON they've qualified to. These games that they are playing, Ben, there's no bigger prep than this for the AFCON. A competitive Olympic qualifier is the best way of getting ready for an AFCON. And I hope they do well in Zambia.
As for Gabi, I don't think we hear from him because he's at the post-game press conference. He was hoping to get here on time, but I don't think that will happen. So let me take Abeku's thoughts. Abeku, this week, Frida Yisi captured the social media waves, touting athletic midfielder. I saw all kinds of YouTube videos saying she was coming to bolster the Queen setup. After halftime, I saw people asking for her to be taken off because he was not doing well. Thoughts on the Queen's defeat? Can they turn this around all the way in Zambia?
I feel they can turn this around. We set them up to fail. Look, we didn't learn from what happened in Brazil in 2014 when we flied monies to the players and they kissed it and what have you. After that, what happened? These are human beings first. So, if you set them up, their orientation from the onset was not stable going into this game.
Mm-hmm.
And that minute, it took the journalists then again to go on to social media, lambasting the sports ministry. The sports ministry had the better opportunity, as Nathan said, to rewrite the whole history and make things nice. And I blame the FA a little bit. Look, you have to press and make sure that, when you did a budget for I'm not sure the FA will sit and watch, a budget for the Black Stars not paid for preparation for something important.
No, but how do you transfer close to 6 million into women's development account
and not think about the women?
I was
Yep.
And
Yep.
you see, why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we? And the girls knew this getting into that game. They are human beings first. I established that.
They have to threaten to boycott the game before their money's were paid.
So do you think they will be in a sound state of mind to get into this game? It is never going to happen. Then that last minute thing, there was a promise that, look, tomorrow
and the
at
checks
1 p.m. What kind of this?
And the checks actually have been backdated. So the checks haven't even cleared yet. So what we know for a fact is that
you say it will take 3 days. So after 3 days, we'll go back to check.
So as we speak, when we're going to play the game, they didn't have their monies.
No, Shikaba Amede.
Yep.
See, I've been with a football club whose president or CEO had monies to show at a point in time. When a team was in the CAF Confederations Cup, he will bring the monies to the dressing room and tell the boys that, look, this is the money. One shamam, no one beji.
Money na hand, back na ground.
You don't owe these girls and force them into a certain state, then come and promise them and then pay something and say that, go and check 3 days. What kind of movement is this?
Yeah.
How would you want these girls? See, the particular qualification process we are embarking on to the Paris. It's been 2 decades since we got there.
I don't think we'll qualify.
2004.
And we are joking with this opportunity.
Yep.
And Zambia indeed is one of...
I feel like that just tells you how we feel about women's football in this country. Because if after 2 decades we've not made it to the Olympics, and less than 5 days to a game, you owe our women bonuses from 3 matches play, and they have to threaten you to abandon the game.
At what stage did we got informed that we're going to play the Zambians.
Oh, we've always known.
We've always known.
Absolutely.
And if you are a proper thinking people running our football in this country, you should look at the Zambians' performance at the just ended
They are big side. They are a
Women's World Cup.
World Cup. They are big
They
open.
were by far one of Africa's brightest sport.
They've gotten one of their.
We saw them all. You remember when I came here and I got to know of that fixture, I said, wow, I don't think we'll beat them. Because I have watched the
You
Black
said
Queens
we are started celebrating too
too
early.
early. Those
Yep.
are my words. Because the teams were beaten, they were not the benchmark. And people were saying we should give the coach credit, we should give the girls credit. They played so
Today,
and
you
so
should have
games,
seen Rachel
no
Konda
goal
Ninja.
considered.
Yeah.
This, that. I said, look,
The teams
Don't
were beaten
begin
were
to-
expected to be beaten.
beaten, of course.
Yeah.
Don't begin to blow your trumpet when the music has not even started. Whatever you were doing, it was rehearsal. This is now the proper game. And this Zambian team, if you saw them at the World Cup, they were a delight to watch. So that alone should have sent a clear message to those in charge of our football that look, the bar has been raised, and therefore, what are we to do to motivate these girls? So the issues of bonuses shouldn't have even been for discussion.
It shouldn't have been in the window.
We should have dealt with that long ago and allowed the coach, Hotler, the opportunity to work on the psyche
Yeah.
and the tactics for the game.
Just focus on
Because
tactics.
while she was dealing with tactics,
She'll have to.
these girls
she'll
were
have to
dealing
be,
with the issues of
she'll have to be micromanaging them on
Absolutely.
money issues.
Absolutely.
and Nora Hotler will be looking at our people in the face.
I'm sure she
What
was.
sort of people are
I'm
these?
sure she was.
Are you
Look,
serious?
I'm sure she was looking at them crazy. Like,
Not for you anymore. I'm a fair. I'm a nibina. They
Yeah.
don't do their thing.
Switzerland, to be specific.
She'll be looking at you.
She will be shocked.
Really?
Yeah, they were frustrated.
Yeah, she'll be shocked.
Really?
She was frustrated even from the onset when she was complaining that she was not getting friendly games to play.
To play.
Now she gets the girls focused to go into a competition that it has been 2 decades.
Yeah.
And then you owe the girls. She's won. In fact, you pick all the coaches in Ghana, national team coaches, and now she's the best. If you put the men in addition.
No, if you're ranking via wins, she's the
Of
best.
course, you can only beat what is in
In
front of you.
True.
Oh my
And
goodness.
until today, or until her last 2 games, she had beaten everybody.
Yep.
So for me, look, Gabby is yet to come.
Yeah.
But me personally, I'm not surprised.
I saw
We got
bits,
beat.
bits and pieces of the game.
Yeah.
I saw bits and pieces of it.
I'm not surprised we got beat because I've watched the Black Queens play, and I was always of the view that if you look at the Zambians, the Nigerians,
Cameroon even.
Cameroonians,
South
and then
Africa.
the South Africans, these 4 teams
Yeah.
were actually the
They are
benchmark.
they are the litmus test.
They are the litmus test, and I've always said it that I will only begin to see our team as a team worthy of praise
Yeah.
if and only if we were to play any of these teams and begin to have our way against them. Because some time back, we were the powerhouse when it comes to women football.
True.
Only Nigeria stood in our way. Right now, we've fallen behind the Zambians, the South Africans, the Cameroonians, the
Even Morocco.
Nigerians, even the Moroccans.
Yep.
We just don't seem to be able to match up to these players. And like Nathan said, we are going to the AFCON very soon. Zambia will be there.
Yep.
Cameroon will be there. Nigeria will be there.
Anything you want
South
to win,
Africa
you
will be
must
there.
go through them.
Morocco will be there.
Yep.
And like I've always said, to win the cup, these are the teams you have to
You
beat.
need to beat the best. Yep.
It's not going to come on a silver platter. But do you know one thing so beautiful about football?
Tell us.
You don't need to be the best team to win the tournament.
Absolutely.
If you can put your house in order, stay focused, battle ready. You see, for the fact that our girls could come back and make money an issue ahead of such a very crunch game, again, we don't have a psychologist with the team. And the issues of trust. The girls don't trust the FA.
100%.
They don't trust the minister.
100%.
They don't trust anybody who is supposed to
100%.
give them their money.
100%.
So it comes down to the issues of trust. Could we have done it in such a way that we completely take their minds off that? We shouldn't be giving them check. They should be receiving messages on their phone
Absolutely.
that says the money has hit their account.
Absolutely.
Bang! They should be receiving messages that said we couldn't have asked the Bank of Ghana like we did for the men going to the AFCON, where the finance minister directed that transferred 6-point-something million into the women's development account. Couldn't we have done something like that? The Blasters' appearance fee alone per player was $20,000 per player. This one, for their 3 matches, it was 7,500. Hey. Jemo 7,000, get 20,000 minimum.
Imagine.
We set ourselves up to fail.
No.
All the time.
The 12,500 difference alone, if we were to bring that and give to these girls, every Blasters player money, if you subtract, you have 12,500. Give one, add one, give one, add one. I feel basa.
You see, it's because it is because of how we feel. That's what Nathan just said. How you feel internally about something is how you manifest it in real life. The way we feel about the Black Queens is exactly how we treat them. Go and play 4 games.
They
We'll
were
pay
the
you.
first team at the senior level
First we say we'll give
to
you
qualify for the World Cup.
First we say we'll give you 6,000. No, now we say we can only give you 3,000. No, now we can only give you 1,500.
All sort of, you see, you are going back and forth on your words.
Yeah.
And for me,
No respect.
And the girls heard these things.
of
They
course
know.
they did.
They know.
And look, for me, football is where it is. Football needs saving. You get ya? Football needs saving.
True, 100%.
And by the grace of God, we are calling upon the Parliament of Ghana, Honorable Abangbagbe, no more one pabo fai. What chogbeni no kwafe, one chogbeni yo wa job. Honorable Speaker, one chogbeni yo wa job. No one yet do mommy how one qualify Jubilee House, His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Munjina mu maye, yet do mommy how.
Munjine mu.
Get a quick comment below one pin no more. Yet do mommy how. Here she show more than one
The guy say one pin. If you don't understand, say we are suffering.
we are suffering. One pin.
Oh.
That 75-year-old woman, I remember her very
Ghana
well.
football is for all of us.
It's for all of us. It belongs to all of us.
Yeah.
Now we are going to give this girl, put them in aeroplane, take them to Zambia. If they go and they don't qualify, they'll come back.
If they don't see their money in there, if they go and they check it's something.
They shouldn't go.
Let me read messages. I'll get y'all's thoughts on the Queens, the demonstrations, and all that's been going on. We'll talk about Mediama Sporting Club in a bit. They have also lost to Al Ali. 4-0 aggregate. Wow. Let me get to the message, but let me see what's coming through. This one here, just a message. Yeah. Okay. I'll get to the message box in a bit. Emmanuel Dowona Okla says that Numo, they need to know they can't take Ghanaians for a ride. Is this Ghana football? Aluta continua. Victoria Aseta. Louis Obey says, good evening, Ben and the crew. My team Arsenal lost to Porto in the Champions League, but Porto should not come to the Emirates as we would demolish them by 4-0. Guy, if I were you, like I go cool down. Let me read more messages. Charlie, Alonte Piuto from Ablekuma. Charlie, which kind of name is this? Say, good evening, guys. Liverpool eats their humble pie on Sunday. Blue is the color. Alex Dwayne in London says that GFA is a mess. However, Liverpool to win on Sunday. Okay. This one says, good evening, Ben. I'm disappointed, but not surprised that Mediama lost today. How can you compete against an Al Ali side who have the resources to purchase the likes of Percy Tau and Anthony Modeste from the Premier League and the Bundesliga, respectively, when your best player, Jonathan Soa, is leaving to go and play in Libya? The levels aren't the same. Charlie, the Anthony Modeste signing still was like crazy for me.
And he was the one who provided the assist
For the goal.
for Hussein El Shahad to score.
It's
The
always
goal.
weird. When I saw Modeste in there, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah,
Is this
Anthony
for real?
Modeste, yeah. He was recently at Borussia Dortmund.
Yep.
When Sebastian Haller had the testicular cancer. He was the
Hold-up guy.
stopgap
Yeah.
striker. And
Yeah.
once he left, he joined Al Ahly, and he was the one who provided assist for Hussein El Shahad to score the goal.
Amazing stuff. That's why people like.
They came with their water, food, everything. Al Ahly, yeah. They came with their water,
the number of
food.
coaches they
You,
bought.
you know the
Everything.
the Egyptians like to do that. Like even for Afcons, when they go, they know that CAF
They
will
carry
provide
everything,
everything, but they still carry their own extra stuff.
They are serious thinking
and
people.
and even they don't spend more money than us at tournaments.
I'm a budget share one.
Charlie. This one here says that look at the way the Black Queens are being treated. If one Black Stars management committee member can earn an amount of $100,000 for no work done during the 9 days they spent in Qatar, what kept them from paying the Queens what was due them? Good question. I see the Queens' money. I say it's disrespectful.
You see why I'm saying the FA should press?
Yep.
Because
they can. Because when it comes to
why
the Black
it's
Stars,
disrespect.
because it's the Queens. Like they say, it is like they themselves have said, not us. They said it is not a flagship brand. The Queens don't have pool.
See, the last time we drank coconut at the World Cup, how much was that?
$100.
Why are we doing this? Why?
Continuous cycle. Yeah, let me take your thoughts on the Queen's performance today. You saw Frida AC during the week as well. I thought she was about to add some immense quality to the team, but this is becoming a thing. I don't know if you remember, but before I don't know it was before Hutla's time, there was another tall striker that we brought in from Sweden. There was a lot of social media.
Yeah.
Sharon, I think. her
Yeah,
name was-
Sharon Samson.
Sharon,
Sharon
good.
Samson, yeah.
She was from Sweden. A lot of noise about her.
Yeah.
She came and played 1 or 2 games and never showed up again.
Yeah, I think it's not rocket science or it's not a magic bullet kind of thing that you just bring them in and all of a sudden, boom, instantly they just start showing out. It takes a bit of time because it's international football. It's not club football where they are together. They spend a lot of time together. And so once it's international football, the stakes are way, way high and there's very little time. And knowing very well that you're coming into a different environment entirely, yeah, it will definitely be very difficult to expect them to really just come out and start producing right away to meet expectations. And so for me, Frida, I wasn't surprised that she didn't have.
So you think that the integration process is not right?
First things first, yeah, integration process is not right. And let's be realistic. Playing in Sweden, playing in England is definitely different from playing in Ghana, playing in Africa.
No, say the nation's Wembley, that
Accra Sports Stadium, for instance, the pitch is different. The atmosphere is different. The weather is different. Frida, yes, she spent some time in Ghana adjusting to the weather and all that, but it's different when you are training and it's different when you are playing. And yeah, they had a friendly game. They played against Berry Ladies in the lead up to this game. They won that game by 2-0. Frida scored. But like again, there's a difference in the intensity in a friendly game against a Ghana Women's Premier League side and a team that participated at the 2023 Women's World Cup. They lost to Spain.
That's legions of difference.
Yes, they lost to Spain in the group stage. Spain went ahead and they won the World Cup. They lost to Japan in the group stage. Japan went ahead and they lost out in the quarterfinals. And had they not met, I believe it was either Spain or one of the finalists, they would have gone in very deep in the competition because they were one of the best teams in the competition. And so when you look at the gulf in the class between the two teams, it was clear for all to see. And realistically, it was always going to be difficult for one Charlton Athletic player to come in and bridge that gap. No, it was always going to be a Herculean task, and you would need, let's say, the reincarnation of, let's say, a Bridget Prince to be able to do it. So yeah, for me, I wasn't too surprised that she didn't have the best of outings in our game against Zambia. I always suspected that we were going to have it very tough. very tough because Zambia's biggest strength lies in their attack. Barbara, Banda, and Rachel. And when you see them play, it's a simple tactic that they use. Pack the bus and have those two just run out there and do damage with the little supply that they get. And that's how come at the World Cup, they ended up beating Costa Rica by 3-1. And so, for me, yeah, it was always telling. You needed the best of preparations to be able to get a draw or a possible win against the Zambian team because they've been together for a while. They've played against the best of the best in the world, and Ghana hasn't been able to get to that level. We are still building our way to the Zambian level. And so if you end up having very few days to prepare, that's one, and the preparations are very rocky. In the first place, aside the money, up until, I believe, Wednesday evening, the ladies hadn't received any top official from the GFA or the Ministry of Youth and Sports. They felt disrespected. And even some of our best players are still more or less in exile. Because
they spoke up about things like this.
Yes, because they spoke about things like this. So if you want to be the best, you need your best players in the pool present. You need the best of preparations, and you need sound preparation. And we didn't have any of these three, and our preparations were rocky. And honestly, I wasn't too surprised that we ended up losing to Zambia. A bit disappointed that we didn't even get a draw. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's all about the golfing quality, the golfing class. They have it. Unfortunately, we lost it back in the day, and we are building our way to that level. So it will take some time. And Nora Hudla, in the lead up to the game, said it that the Ghana FA, they are working to bring in more players who were born outside Ghana or Ghanaian descent, like Frida Isi into the talent pool. Because right now, at this point, that's the best solution because our football has fallen so far.
No disrespect though, no disrespect, but I feel like when it comes to the women's football, the professionals who play outside the country, it's not like the male footballers. They've not added enough to our team for me to say that the people who come from Abuja are better, or maybe it's just me, because the players we've produced here, the Doris Buduas and Sandra
Evelyn Bedu,
they all tend to be better than the people who are like the people who have lived outside or have been born to maybe second, third generation Ghanaians outside. I don't know, but they don't seem. I don't know if it's a hunger thing. I don't know if it's an intensity thing, but it's not like us bringing like a KP Boateng or like a Callum Hudson. Or it's just not the same for me. I don't know.
Honestly, I think there's a difference. You can clearly see the difference with Frida. I mean, you don't get nicknamed the female Berbatov for nothing at all. I mean, yeah, she has some quality, but like I said, it was just a rocky patch. Very short span to integrate her into the system. And yeah, if you can, Nora Hutla said 4 or 5 players are in the pool right now, and they are looking to get them, or they've started a process. They are looking to get them into the team. I think they will add a bit of quality, and once our preparations are on point, it's stable. The money is available. Friendly games are available. Yeah, I think we will be able to do well at the AFCON later in June. Then the next target would be to be able to qualify to the next Olympics. But at this point in time, we are not there because Africa has how many slots in the Olympics? I believe 2.
Just 2, yeah.
Just 2.
Yeah.
Realistically.
No, I don't think we'll qualify.
Realistically,
We won't qualify.
Is Ghana part of the top 2 teams in Africa?
No, we won't qualify.
No,
Stop this.
So we are
That
not
is
there
why-
yet.
that
So
is why
it takes
some
time.
of us were very.
You said
Cautious.
we should calm down with the
down.
with the accolades.
All the accolades they were flowing on social media. I said, look, I call one of them FA people. Don't do that. When you do that, you are not managing the situation.
You are raising expectations.
You're raising expectations,
way
but
too
you
high.
know very well that we are not there
Not there
yet.
yet. So
Don't do
build your way to that level.
Oh, Charlie.
Then when the time is right, then we can
Don't do that.
Then
Don't
we
do
can
that.
we can attach those expectations to the team. But
I mean,
at this point in time, I don't think we are there yet. So I'm a bit disappointed we didn't get a win. At least a draw would have been good for me. But I'm not too surprised that we ended up losing to Zambia.
Melito,
Madon.
You watch the game,
Yeah,
first half,
I was
second
live
half.
there.
Charlie,
Yeah.
the feedback is not great. That Ghana struggled the entire game, didn't create enough chances, and from what most people have seen, the second leg looks like a very tall order.
Yeah, I agree with people who are saying that the second leg is a very tall order. It is because of what Zambia did on our home soil. But a few pointers though, Ben. I would like to start with the starting 11.
Okay.
So when I saw Frida Isi in the squad, I was shocked. Because look, I've watched the
Connex
Black
Doffertons.
Queens 11 games.
Connex Doffertons.
10 wins and a loss.
Nah.
That loss was
Doffertons.
the loss was against
And the
Namibia.
consultancy player go.
Yeah. So
Yeah, me have a consultancy.
So that loss was against Namibia, and it was at the time the Queens are already qualified. I was thinking that Nora Hutla would have stuck with Stella Nyamiche. She's one of like the players, the core of the players she stuck with,
More established
and
since
have played
Hukla's been
throughout
around.
the qualifiers. And on that run that she went. So when I saw her in the squad, I was shocked because, like Yao said, the integration has been slow. I mean, she just had 4 days,
Now,
and you
back into the
throw
starting
her into a big game like this against Zambia.
No,
Look,
coach then Jebo Omode.
look, Ben, and the numbers.
No, Hutla, Ebo Omode.
The numbers.
Coulda.
No, but no.
No, coach. I think I disagree
I'm
with
coming.
you.
No, I'm coming.
No, let me.
I'm coming. No, I'm coming. Oh, I want to go boy. My name is down. 4 days. What did she see
No, but coach.
at training?
Coach,
But
that's
get her to drop.
But that's
listen,
what you and I don't know.
Ben. I think.
No, that is what we saw.
Fair enough. Fair game.
No, now.
Look,
Fair game.
I think coach is making it look so bad. I don't think she was that bad.
No, but
I think. Look, for a game of this magnitude against Zambia, Copper Queens, an A-listed team on what in women's football, you are not supposed to throw her in that game. She's not supposed to start. I think she
I'm
had
not
decent-
blaming the player. Oh. I'm
I
saying the
understand.
coach,
The coach.
is bad.
Yeah, I understand. I think
Because
the player
all you know,
herself,
if the player had sat on the bench and observed,
yeah, she can
look at the tempo,
really tell.
look at the physicality of the game, then she has an idea
Of
going
what
to
she's
something.
getting into.
So that's the point I was just about getting to. Because from what I saw, her touches were decent, and she looked like a player who could connect the midfield and the attack because she's got this touch.
You mean you
With
can
her.
you can tell that she is good?
Yeah,
She
you-
just couldn't mesh with the group.
Exactly. And you can tell with the quality she comes with, especially with the players. I'm not saying that their players were bad, but you can tell that she needs time to settle in.
Exactly.
So I think that didn't work for me. The second thing I was impressed with was the numbers. I've watched the Black Queens a lot at the Accra Sports Stadium. And the people who turned out today, it was unprecedented.
A lot of them were first.
It was great.
But we told them to go.
But
Save Ghana. We told them to go.
But on the flip side, I think it affected the girls. You know why? I'm sure the girls will look at, they'll just do a quick scan around and be like, hey, Charlie Radi, all these people can't watch the game. because look,
And it's a big, and like I said, it's a big occasion for them.
exactly, and especially in what we are dealing with, the current dealing- circumstances of what demo and
Are you
of
saying we shouldn't have gone to watch?
I'm
them?
not saying
He's saying
I'm
that.
saying that.
They are
I
not
mean,
prepped for it.
you want a big crowd, but also the women were sort of
See the need
overwhelmed.
of the psychologists of this team.
So I
If the psychologist look at the come out, look at the crowd, go back to the dressing room and begin to Charlie.
I think Benny, I think it got to them. It got to them in terms of
Charlie.
in terms of psyche.
Yes.
In terms of psyche and in terms of starting well in the first half. And that brings me to coach's point
About who?
about warm-up sessions. And again, he repeated in the Black Queens thing.
Oh, you are.
Look,
three cones.
there was no cone there, bro. There was no cone there.
Are you serious?
So I'm watching.
No, wait.
I'm watching the Copper Queens. Let me finish, coach. You let me forget.
Okay, you are watching the Zambians.
Yeah.
I'm watching the Copper Queens, and that is why coach is here. So you would probably walk us through and let me understand. So I see 4 cones in the middle. I see 2 at the start, and I see 2 at the end, and I see 1 at the final end. But for the Black Queens, they just come in and then they do a hopper skip something.
The Wakasu walk.
Like,
Yes,
The
and they just start. And it took the Copper Queens about, let me say, 2 to 5 minutes to do a proper warm-up session before the second half started. And it was telling that
they had gone through some paces before.
exactly. But you know, the start for the Black Queens second half start was not that bad. And like I said, so like in terms of the people who turned up that had a psyche on the Queens, they didn't start so well. And I'm sure the Queens also looked at the pedigree of the opponents they were facing in Zambia. So then again,
a lot was happening. I mean, around the Queens before this game.
Yeah, they've got Barbara Banda in there.
Yeah,
they've got Rahel Kunandanji in there, and if you see the goal, bang,
she was running
the composure in the box.
I've seen bits and pieces of her work.
The composure in the box.
Wow.
Look, for a player to score, look, Ben, for a player to score 25 goals in 29 appearances and be bought for $850,000.
Yeah, she's the most expensive woman.
Exactly, it speaks volumes of the kind of threat you're coming up against. And I see the defense of the Queens, and I look at them, I'm like, it looks like they don't have an idea of who they are coming up against. Yeah. Because how do you allow a player that time and space and time to think?
Yeah.
And he told the defenders that, look, I'm in control of the box. Chip the goalkeeper, and it was just a very good goal for the Copper Queens.
Quick one before you even go on. From what you've watched, what we've gleaned from the first leg here, what will these girls have to do to be able to have a chance to overturn this deficit?
In terms of chance, I think it's difficult. Let's not raise our hopes because, look, from what I saw, especially in the part of the Copper Queens, they play like a side who were very comfortable. Well, look, they put very good passes together. They were very decisive in the final third. And you could see from
they played in the World Cup
a clear direction that look
in an Olympic game.
That look and you could tell the chemistry with the team
very capable of stepping.
And that's what Yao said. We didn't look like a team that had chemistry. And I think it's all, and I'll pin every blame on Nora Hutla. Because you don't drop what Stella Nyameche.
Nora Hutla has played over 10.
And you see, Ben, I was sitting.
Games.
Yeah, I was amongst the stands there, and somebody raised a very good point. You know, comfortable of Vampim Dakwan lady. She was part of the squad that got into the CAF Best 11 after the second edition of the third edition of the CAF Champions League. People were asking that, look, why is she on the bench? Because she's part of the players who have made or have brought the Queens this far. And you drop her in a game like this. For Frida Isi, no disrespect to her, but I think it was a wrong choice. So, I mean, going into the second leg, I think the Queens will come out all guns blazing. And the coach said it at the presser, that there's a lot to give. And he's counting on a lot from Rahel and Banda. And there's this, I think, Mupopo.
Yeah.
They've got really interesting names. Mupopo.
That's a Zambian.
Yeah. So Ben, I think it's really difficult. And look, even if we are able to go past Zambia in the second leg, there's Morocco or Tunisia waiting for us.
Charlie.
You see, so the path to qualifying to the Olympic
is a very
difficult one. It's not like you're playing the WAFCON. What did we face in the WAFCON qualifiers? We were playing Benin, Senegal. No disrespect to those countries. Namibia.
They are our girlfriends.
Mozambique. We were playing Mozambique. You see the thing? And I mean, if you're playing an A-listed team, you need to do more. And like you said, this is the team that knows how to qualify for the Olympics. And it came to fruition. I think it came to bear against the Queens. The experience really came.
Yeah.
They just allowed the Queens to do their things and then took their moment. So I think things are really difficult. The last thing I want to say is that I think the $7,500 got into the minds of these girls.
No, they are humans. You don't blame them.
No, I understand. But I'm talking about after that money was given to them, you could see their demeanor.
The money has not been given to them. After you promised,
yes, they promised to be. Sorry. Thanks for the correction.
The money has not cleared yet. The money not cleared yet.
It will take what, 3 days?
3 days to clear.
Yeah, 3 days to clear.
Yeah.
I think it got to them. That's my point, though, and that's what I saw in terms of demeanor. Coach, you are here. You can understand how players would approach this kind of things.
Yeah. Because
we saw a similar thing at 2014 World Cup. Where
you may kiss the money.
It was a similar situation, and we went on to lose to who? Portugal, right? I don't know how this could have done. This could have been
handled better.
in a very good way.
It goes down to bad management Look, the management team.
Because
very
I can
bad.
tell you that,
The
like I'm saying,
ministry,
if they didn't threaten, they wouldn't have been paid this money.
If they knew exactly, and they have no excuse not to know that we're going to play against the Zambians.
They've always known.
They have no excuse not to know.
I mean,
The level of the opposition we're going to meet.
Yeah.
And one of the easier way of matching up to that level is proper motivation. These girls didn't need to be motivated money-wise a day to the game.
yeah. So that's the point I just wanted to raise.
You understand?
A day
So
to
that
the
is
game.
bad management. Bad management. No, I'm telling you, I'm talking out of pain. When it comes to women, you don't treat them like that. They must be given preferential treatment because their level of I don't know. It is
Their temperament is different
it's
from men.
very different from
Yeah.
men. They can easily freeze when you don't treat them.
Yeah.
And when you don't treat them well, at the same time, you demanding something extra from
and
them.
then they
You
come
freeze.
and then they come and then they see a crowd
By the time they realize
100 times bigger than what they've ever played in front of before.
The point, and
I
it's
feel
almost
that's
it's almost strange that it's weird, right? They've played a lot of these games with almost an empty ground.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
the crowd shows up to support them, but that same crowd, it's not the fault of the crowd.
Overwhelms them.
It overwhelms them.
And-
And like I said, it's just the telltale signs of a team that is growing,
Yes.
of a team that is experiencing.
Yes.
You see, and I'm happy they're experiencing different things. A tough opponent, a home environment that kind of freezes you slightly, and now you have to dig deep and find new levels.
Yes.
These are things, though, and I'm happy Gabby said something that Nora Hutla admits that. I'm sure in her mind she knows that we didn't perform as well as we could have. There's a level to this team, but of course, when they look at themselves and the Zambians, you can tell that this is what experience buys you. When you play at a World Cup and you lose 5-0 to Spain, somebody says, oh, you lost 5-0.
But you learn things.
you went there,
You learn things.
and then they played in the Olympics. They did very well.
You learn
I think recently they beat Germany 3-2.
You know,
Yes.
so all these things,
Imagine.
Ben, all these things will come together. And then when they step out to play, they quickly can tell, the Ghanaians are feeling the heat. They can't seem to play. Good. This is
They haven't been on
then
this
they
stage
fall,
before.
they fall back on all them games they've played with Spain, whoever, one Olympic game,
Japan,
one World Cup.
mechanically.
Everything comes
And
together.
then you fall on that experience.
Yep.
It is why I always say that we need to give our national teams the best kind of preparation, because sometimes in games, Ben, tactics can fail you.
Yep.
But the experience to remember that we've been here before,
It comes down
That's-
to the
that's-
temperament
let's
of
just
the
calm
that's
down
what you
and
need
navigate
most of the
it.
time.
But look, we wish them well.
Yeah.
I'm repeating myself. Whatever happens on Tuesday, it is an experience they should value.
True.
This same experience will come back to help them when they go to the AFCON.
Let me give a big shout out to our YouTube following. I'll read a few of the comments coming through. Shout outs to David Ado, aka Romantic, listening live from Community 18. Coach says that I should dedicate the puka to you, and that these days the weather is increasingly becoming hilarious. Thank you. This one here coming in from Ben Shakes. It says, I would suggest the meeting with the FA be streamed live on all media platforms if possible. Charlie.
We, the petition, we don't have a problem with that.
Ah,
That is what we even want.
you heard it from coach's mouth.
All here, so that somebody will not go and
Fito.
sit on their
And
neck
go and
and
lie.
say that this was said when it wasn't said.
Set, of course.
Yeah, this one here. More messages coming through. Joseph Akumalo says the Black Queens played tactless football today. This one here is from Cove Town Babe. It says all this from the GFA. No wonder the girls lost. All this shenanigans from the GFA. That's what he said. This one here says Sports Panorama is a show to watch. Go hard. Big shout outs to coach. Okay, this one here is from. Okay, I think there's more messages coming. Just keep your messages coming. I'll read a couple more of them. Umar here says, hi guys, I'm going home from watching the match. The ladies did well in the second half. The first half performance was below standard. If we go with the second half performance, we should be able to get a result. A result there you can get to. But with the results you get.
But Chris, let me ask you this, and Gabby,
Snap thoughts
you
before
saw
we
that.
go.
Yeah.
This warm up thing, and I see you are very big.
Look, me, when I go and I see
The
these
warm
things,
up.
it just takes me up. It is not. You don't compromise. on
Wait,
that.
wait, Bagabi, you said the Ghana
So what
team
was
didn't
it?
have cones.
They didn't have cool.
0 cones.
We didn't warm up with any cones.
No.
Charlie.
0 cones.
Look, I remember very well one of our training courses with Uncle Ben Kofi. You see, if you were very close to Uncle Ben, when he's stressing on something, you can see the expression on his face, and he will tell you, the coach, don't ever compromise on this. The moment the man starts saying that, and then he says that for him, his team would do a warm-up between 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the
Weather.
weather condition. If it's extremely hot, then
You can do reduce the
but
time.
the drill should not be less than 4. And every international game I've gone to, every proper team, when they come, you see they arrange codes, different sets of codes for different what?
Drills.
We were told that when the player is leaving the warm-up back into the dressing room, the warm-up should be such that it should keep him warm until the team comes out for the national anthem,
And then
and they don't
subsequently the
start.
game.
So that should tell you the extent of the warm-up. The player should never. So ask the player; they'll tell you that when they warm up and they go, in less than 5 minutes, that come, that sweat stays with them through the national anthem, and then bang,
And
they are in the mood.
you need it, because if you ever speak to players, they tell you that sometimes when they sub you on into a game, it actually takes you longer to adjust to the
Adjust
game
to the tempo.
than the people who are already on. So people think that you have fresh legs and so you
No,
should
no,
start
no, no,
delivering.
no, no.
It doesn't work in that manner. So
For me, I'm surprised at what it look.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I'm very shocked.
well, that's where we are at as far as the Black Queens are concerned. Big task for them when they go all the way to Zambia. That song in the background.
Crazy for you.
Yeah, Charlie. That's Joseph Painso.
Bro,
Yeah. That's Joseph Painso. Calls this unbreakable. And I'm talking about this because Joseph Painso, surprise.
he's gone to the Galaxy.
I didn't see this coming.
I did not at all.
So Joseph Peso has moved from Genk to LA Galaxy. Now, the reporter fee is around $9 million USD, and he joins as a designated player. That's the biggest bit for me. Designated slots for MLS teams are typically reserved for
Yeah, the likes of David
star,
Beckham,
star caliber
yeah,
players. And so
and co.
I'm hearing that Yenipa Wajiska.
Oh yeah, cool.
Just like, Wajibi.
No, me Matisse Wajiska. Because listen, if Joseph Peso is what, 26?
Yeah, he's 26.
If Joseph Peso has not Jessica to go to MLS by this time, and that's a lot of people have texted me asking me what's going on with Peso. Why is he going to America? Is something the problem? Has he fallen out with his coach at Genk? All I'm saying is that look, Joseph Peso, he's a player in his prime. One, secondly, he's a player who earns decent money at Genk. He's a player who scored a decent amount of goals. He's established a reputation in Europe, if I can put it that way. So for me, the biggest takeaway from this was that I think the player feels that there is enough time to take a detour to the MLS, make enough money, and possibly come back to mainstream Europe. That's my thinking around it. Let me take thoughts on this. Nathan, I don't know what you made of the move to LA Galaxy. They are still the MLS's biggest team. Their first game of the season is against Lionel Messi and Inter Miami. And so big game, but are you donkoming pencil to LA Galaxy or not? And tell me why.
It's a very strange one. I've read the story from LA Galaxy 2 to 3 times. the question I asked, why? But the profile of American soccer, as they call it, we call it football, the profile has gone up in the last few years, you have to admit. The Galaxy is a team with a
So
lot
you mean
of
unlike in
glamour.
the past when retired footballers would go there, the landscape has changed a
It
little.
has changed. It has changed.
Ricky Puig is
Ricky
there. A lot
Puig
of
is
young
there,
players.
some of the young players are there and all of that. So I initially wondered why, but I guess when players get to a certain time in their careers, they will assess a lot of things. One, what more was there to achieve at Genk? I don't know, maybe the league, maybe qualifying to Champions League, maybe playing some top-notch European football, granted. But how successful will Genk be anyway? Reason number one. Now, you go to LA Galaxy. Imagine he strikes it big with LA Galaxy. Now, let's not forget, a lot of the bigger teams in Europe now, these days are not shy to look at the MLS and sign players. Miguel Almiron came from the MLS. Some players have left the MLS to come and play in Europe. So I kind of agree with your theory that maybe it's a longer route.
He feels like he has enough time to go to the MLS.
To go
and come
there,
back.
make something good of himself, turn a few heads here and there, and then maybe gets his way back. Because if you turn heads at LA Galaxy, Genk will not sign you.
Yep.
If you turn heads at LA Galaxy, you are looking at a team that's closer to the bigger pool or the big boys pool in Europe. So I think we'll just have to wait and see what happens. He has to take this opportunity. I always say that we've had Ghanaians go to the MLS. Not a lot of them have taken that chance to absolutely explode.
Yeah.
Some of them have made a few headlines here and there. They are crowd favorites. But we need players to go there and make the kind of impact a player like Zlatan made. Somebody will say, Zlatan is huge. Yes, but if you're a Ghanaian player, you can also
Can get on that
you
level.
can get on that level. So I hope Joseph Pencil gets on that level. So I would don't commit that move primarily because one, he's talented. Two, I think he has the quality. And my hope is that he will crack it big. And the Galaxy is a high-profile team.
Very.
It is
They're,
a high.
they're actually the MLS's biggest
Yes,
team.
they are a high-profile team. They are MLS royalty. So good for him. I'm delighted that he gets to strike out into a very different market.
Yeah.
I hope he succeeds and he does big things there, and we see what next will be for him, or the next move that will be on the cards.
Yeah, let me take your thoughts and I'll take coach's thoughts as well.
Yeah, basically, for me, I see it as a move to better his bank account. It's a straightforward money move because at the end of the day, look, your window is
Wajiska.
short. Oh, Wajiska. Because look, I'm just checking some numbers. Let me see, and he was earning around what, £9,000 a week at
Again,
Genk.
that's like 15,000 euros.
Yeah. And when I checked the salary sheet of LA Galaxy, it was Chicharito, good old Chicharito. He's moved away from LA Galaxy, he's back in Mexico. He was earning $115,000.
You know where that money's going.
Yeah. And Ricky Puig is earning £23,000 at LA Galaxy. So I see him falling in that bracket where he will end up.
Pinto even has a bigger profile than Puig coming.
Yeah, so I see him falling in that bracket where he's likely to earn
40,000
at least 20,000. So that's like what 3 times, or no, that's like almost 3 times your salary. And I would, like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if he earns around 25,000, 30,000.
I think good. And you see, the catch with the MLS signings is with the signing on fees.
Yeah, the signing
they
on
give you
fees.
a signing on
Yeah.
fee. I can immediately look to David Akam going to Philadelphia Union, good from Europe, and David did admit he didn't say exactly how much he was given,
Yeah,
but the money was not. It was great. The money was great.
Yeah, something like the way Real Madrid is reportedly dealing with the Mbappe salary transfer. You give him a huge signing on fee, then you spread out the salary annually. So I think he falls in that range where he triples his weekly wage, more or less, and that is good money at the end of the day.
It's America.
Plus it's America, and it's LA. That's the thing, and it's LA. It's not no disrespect, but no disrespect. It's not. Let me see.
It's not New England.
Rather,
It's not New England. Yes, it's not New England Revolution. It's not Columbus Crew.
Yep.
No, it's not Columbus in Ohio.
It's LA Galaxy.
It's LA, Los Angeles.
I get
You'll
what
be
you
rocking
mean.
with the stars.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
And Joseph has music ambitions, so
Exactly.
force rights in place for him.
I spoke to his agent yesterday. The agent happens to be, in fact, my boss. I spoke to him yesterday, and I wanted us to talk to him, but his phone will not go through.
And I was Charlie.
And I was of the view. I was also wondering why the move, and it was so simple. In the young man's career at the moment, they had a detailed look at everything. The money was good. He did not only join any team at all in the US.
The flagship team in the MLS.
It is the flagship team in the MLS. So it could have only been a team like LA Galaxy that could have gotten the agent to sit Joe down and talk him through a move to America. And my concern was that he shouldn't rest on his laurels. He should see himself coming back to mainstream Europe and coming to do something great in the next 2 to 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
And that is what I was assured of from his agent.
In fact, if he plays
it's a
2 good seasons, I don't
he's
think
out
he will
of
last
there.
the 3rd season.
So it's a move I endorsed. I know very well that he's going to command a regular starting position in that team, and he's going to make an impact. Don't
Designated
forget,
player there, you'll be star player.
he's got pace, he's got technique, he's a goal scoring winger, and if everything goes well, don't be surprised to see him back in Europe in 2 years' time. And it's a move I don't commit fully.
So Joseph Paint, so Donkomi's Coach Donkomi's the move. Nathan, I think so too. Let's just touch briefly on the Champions League Arsenal performance before we go. Coach, an Arsenal fan on YouTube wants you to explain what went wrong with them on the
corners
day.
and no shots on target. Right?
And how they can overturn that coming to the Emirates.
I think their front line of Martinelli, Saka, Trossard, and then Karl Havertz, Odegaard, they just couldn't match up to the physicality
Pepe.
of Pepe.
Charlie.
40-year-old, no. 40-year-old Pepe.
Anytime,
No, Pepe's still balling.
yeah, he's bought. Anytime Porto had to defend, they made sure that they did something that would put fear in Martinelli, in Saka, and they were all. And the intensity with which Porto played, I was shocked that
also a very
Arsenal
intense
couldn't
team.
match up to that tempo.
Well, one of
They're
the
coming
players
from the
said-
EPL.
One of the
Nico
players said
Gonzalez
Arsenal
and
came-
Alan Varela.
Yeah.
That's a double pivot.
One of the players said Arsenal came to play,
Yeah.
but we came to win.
Exactly.
That was the difference.
That was the difference. And look,
That was the difference.
Cared about being
for
perfect.
me, that is where it all went wrong. And Mikel Arteta himself did admit
Yeah.
that they were not the Arsenal of that we've seen this season, and they need to tweak. Yeah, they need to tweak something in that second leg. Clearly, they can't play the way they played. If they do, they're out. Which means in tweaking, they need to match up to the physicality. I think somebody will have
physicality is important.
It's important. Somebody will have to give for Jorginho to come alongside Declan Rice, because they needed somebody to drive the ball through the middle with some intent.
Like I'm
But
saying,
they have started training, so
Arsenal,
it's too early for
Arsenal
him.
play. Porto
The second leg
played.
is on the 12th of March.
They played with
I
2
wonder-
DMs.
Hey, so
12th
they
of
will
March,
need-
I think, is too early for Thomas.
Yeah.
I agree with you. If Jorginho is in there, it allows
and then
Declan Rice to
allow
take that ball.
but
and-
somebody will have to drive the rest of the guys forward, and that is what Declan Rice will give to them in that second leg. So when I heard Arteta said he has to tweak, I was asking myself, having watched that first leg, what exactly can he tweak? And analyzing, I said, look, then they need to get Declan Rice to move, because he was, let's say, the only Arsenal player in midfield who could more or less rock shoulders with the guys. So if somebody were to protect him a bit and ask him to drive the team forward, I think they will be fine in that second leg. And again, the absence of a proper number 9 to engage the Porto two
The ever standing problem.
that was so evident, it was so clear. And once, look, Pepe, they are huge experience. Hey, Charlie, no more Egbako.
I'm surprised he's still playing at this level.
Egbako kra, no more. Look, age is just a number.
And that's what you're saying. He doesn't look like somebody who is retiring
just a
next
number.
season or
Age is just a number. He's taking good care of himself.
When people were leaving
And
Real
I'm
Madrid,
impressed.
I thought he was
I'm impressed.
he was winding
Yeah,
down.
we all thought he was finished, but it looks like he's found a second.
Kepler
level.
Lima.
Look,
He's
I'm
found a
impressed.
second.
Because look, there were
second
moments
level.
in that game where he needed to remind everybody he was there,
And he did.
he didn't miss out
Oh,
at all.
Charlie.
But Chris, I think you make a good point about Arsenal and the fact that ultimately they will have to solve this number 9 problem.
Yes, they have to.
They will have to really solve
I'm
it. You know,
agreeing
of course,
coming home.
see, on other days, Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, Trossard, whoever, they will get you goals. They'll get you. But you see, there comes a time where you need that focal point.
Yeah, somebody
Champions
to
League
engage
night,
to
and
engage.
Champions League nights will provide you with that. They'll test you. They'll test you with everything your team has
and you
and
need
things your team doesn't have that your team
But
probably
look,
should have.
but I still bet on Arsenal to go through because we've seen at the Emirates, I
Yeah.
think they will turn up.
Look,
Arsenal
if
will
they-
turn
if
up.
I've seen this before, guys.
I think Arsenal will turn
Nathan,
up.
the last time Arsenal got knocked out of a European competition,
It was
yes,
against Sporting Lisbon, I remember.
Lisbon.
But you see, they will have to.
The
be
one that
smart.
they scored them and they had to do an emergency meeting.
You know,
Yeah.
I know. They'll have to be smart and everything, but I think
Yeah.
that they are a goal down.
Yeah.
They can find goals to
They
score.
shouldn't go and rush it. You see,
That's
they
the
should-
thing.
They
If
should
they don't rush it,
Calm
they are
down
fine.
and
calm
play.
down and play.
Well, before we go, just an important announcement before we go. I'm sure you're expecting me to be all over Nisak today. Well, big important announcement coming through that has been postponed to make way for the All African Games. Yeah, some All African Games in the mix there. So the Nisak Games have been postponed. So we'll announce a new date later. So that's just a bit of information for those of you who were hoping to troop to the University of Ghana Stadium this weekend. Nisak, the Nisak Athletics Festival has been postponed to make way for the All African Games. So a new date will be communicated.
Still doing Nisa.
Yes,
We'll
yes,
still
yes,
do it.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Nisak is still
Like
coming
Babu.
off. It's still coming off. So it's just been postponed to make way for the All African
And then
Games.
just a quick one. The Carabao Cup, City FM will bring it live on Sunday. Carabao Cup.
The final.
Liverpool,
Yeah,
Chelsea.
Carabao Cup final. Liverpool and Chelsea.
Our players are all injured, but if they need me,
Yeah,
they can make it.
Liverpool and Chelsea are playing. And,
Oh,
yeah.
Ndumo Jalami Numo.
Yeah, Liverpool are favorites.
No,
Yeah.
Nicholas Jackson trying to can't go where Adumo 9.
Easy. Thank you, my brother. Easy.
Nicholas Michael Jackson, smooth criminal.
Thank you very much, Coach Nimley. Thank you very much, Nathan Kwao. Thank you to Yao Jamita and to our big watcher as well. Thank you to Marcus for hands in the studio. The preview show will come up right after this. Until then, don't touch your dial. Keep enjoying the programming.